What if the true measure of your worth isn't something others decide, but something you claim and fiercely protect from within? In a world that constantly pushes us to conform, seek approval, and justify our every move, Stoicism offers a powerful, almost radical invitation to root your value deeply inside yourself, untouched by external noise. This video dives into that invitation, unveiling 10 profound Stoic secrets that will transform how you act and how the world sees you by reclaiming your silent power, your unwavering boundaries, and your authentic presence. You'll discover why bending yourself to fit others' expectations isn't just exhausting, it's a loss of self-respect disguised as politeness, and why over-explaining your choices can actually invite weakness rather than admiration. Instead, these hidden Stoic truths encourage you to cultivate a calm, silent confidence that commands respect without uttering a word, and to understand that true value starts with a clear, personal definition of who you are and what you will accept in life. Through this journey, you'll confront the dangerous trap of comparison, the invisible walls that protect your dignity, and the empowering art of walking away from places and people who drain your energy. You'll learn to stop pretending everything is fine when it's not, embracing radical honesty that strengthens your integrity and reaffirms your worth. This isn't about ego or arrogance. It's about building an unshakable foundation of value, rooted in self-awareness, intentional action, and conscious choice. A foundation that transforms every interaction, sets a new standard for how you're treated, and lights a path toward genuine respect from others, but most importantly, from yourself. By the end, you won't just see these Stoic secrets as abstract philosophy, but as practical tools to reclaim your power and act with real, undeniable value every single day. 10 powerful Stoic secrets to act with true value. 1. Define your own worth internally. 2. Cultivate silent presence, not loud approval. 3. Refuse to over-explain or justify yourself. 4. Set invisible, non-negotiable boundaries. 5. Stop comparing. Walk your unique path. 6. Measure what you accept. Set your standards. 7. Choose respect through conscious decisions. 8. Recognize when to walk away. Honor your energy. 9. Embrace radical honesty with yourself. 10. Strengthen integrity by living true to your values. If this is resonating with you so far, take a moment to like this video and share it with someone who might benefit from hearing these ideas. It helps these ancient wisdoms reach more modern minds. We've talked about defining your worth from within, cultivating a silent, powerful presence, and refusing the urge to over-explain or justify yourself. We've explored the subtle, yet potent act of setting invisible, non-negotiable boundaries that protect your inner citadel. But our journey into reclaiming your true value doesn't stop there. It continues with a radical shift in perspective that challenges one of the most pervasive, soul-sapping habits of our modern age. 5. Stop comparing. Walk your unique path. In the relentless current of today's world, we are constantly bombarded with images and narratives of success and happiness. Social media feeds are curated highlight reels. News headlines trumpet the latest breakthroughs of others, and even casual conversations often revolve around who has what, who achieved what, or who is where. This ceaseless comparison is an invisible chain, binding us to an external metric that is not only irrelevant to our true worth, but actively corrosive to it. The Stoics understood this fundamental truth millennia ago, To compare yourself to others is to engage in a futile, self-defeating exercise. Epictetus, the former slave, who became a profound Stoic philosopher, urged us to focus on what is within our control and to disregard what is not. The achievements, possessions, talents, and even the misfortunes of others are emphatically not within your control. Your reaction to them, however, is. And the act of comparing yourself to them is a choice to invite envy, dissatisfaction, and a profound sense of inadequacy into your meticulously guarded inner world. Think about it. When you scroll through a feed filled with carefully curated images of perfect vacations, thriving businesses, or seemingly idyllic relationships, what happens to your internal state? For a fleeting moment, you might feel inspired, but more often, it plants a seed of doubt. Am I doing enough? Why don't I have that? Am I falling behind? These questions, insidious and pervasive, hijack your present moment, steal your contentment, and divert your energy away from your own path. The Stoic practice is to understand that everyone is on their own unique journey, navigating their own particular set of circumstances, challenges, and opportunities. You are comparing your messy, unedited, lived reality to someone else's carefully constructed highlight reel. It's like comparing the intricate, deeply rooted life of an ancient oak to a fleeting, exotic flower. They are different species, serving different purposes, thriving in different ways. Your true worth, as we've established, is not contingent on external validation or comparison. It is rooted in your virtue, your rationality, your justice, your courage, your temperance. These are qualities that develop independently of anyone else's progress. Your job, therefore, is not to outrun or outshine someone else, but to outgrow your former self. To be better today than you were yesterday, not better than your neighbor. Imagine the profound liberation that comes from truly internalizing this. No longer are you chasing a moving target defined by external standards. Instead, you are walking your unique path, at your pace, guided by your values, celebrating your small victories, and learning from your particular challenges. Your focus shifts from what you lack in comparison to what you can cultivate within yourself. This doesn't mean becoming oblivious to the world or retreating into isolation. It means observing without judgment, acknowledging achievements without envy, and learning from others without allowing their journey to overshadow or diminish your own. It means celebrating their success genuinely, not as a reflection of your own inadequacy, but as a testament to the diverse expressions of human potential. When you stop comparing, you reclaim an immense amount of mental and emotional energy that was previously wasted on external metrics. This energy can now be redirected towards building your own unique path, strengthening your character, and pursuing goals that are genuinely aligned with your internal compass. This is how you begin to cultivate an unshakable sense of self-worth that is impervious to the shifting sands of external opinion or achievement. Your value becomes an intrinsic quality, not a comparative score, setting a very low bar for how you expect to be engaged with. This isn't about blame. It's about understanding the silent language of our interactions. Stoicism teaches us the power of assent and dissent, the conscious choice to accept or reject impressions. While this primarily applies to our thoughts and judgments, it extends powerfully to our actions and interactions. What you accept in your life, from the quality of the work you do, to the way your friends speak to you, to the conditions of your living environment, profoundly shapes your reality and, crucially, your self-perception. Many of us, out of a desire to be accommodating, to avoid conflict, or to be perceived as easygoing, gradually lower our standards. We accept a less-than-ideal work situation, tolerate a friend's consistent lateness, or allow a partner to speak to us in a tone we wouldn't accept from a stranger. Each small concession might seem minor in isolation, but collectively, they erode your sense of dignity and signal to both yourself and others that your value is negotiable. Consider a modern scenario. Your boss consistently gives you last-minute, demanding tasks that require you to work late, impacting your personal time. If you consistently accept these without discussion, without setting boundaries, without articulating the impact, you are effectively teaching your boss that this is an acceptable mode of operation. You are implicitly agreeing that your time is less valuable than the immediate need, and that your boundaries are flexible. This isn't to say you should refuse all requests, but rather to highlight the importance of conscious, deliberate choices. Setting standards isn't about being rigid or demanding. It's about having a clear, internal definition of what you consider respectful, fair, and acceptable. It's about knowing your minimum viable respect and your maximum acceptable stress. This definition comes from your values. If you value your time and well-being, then accepting constant infringements upon them without a word contradicts that value. The Stoic principle here is about preserving your inner citadel, your mental and emotional peace. When you allow external circumstances or the behaviors of others to consistently violate your internal standards, you compromise that peace. It creates resentment, frustration, and a diminished sense of self. Measuring what you accept requires a calm, courageous self-assessment. What are you currently tolerating that deep down you know you shouldn't? What small compromises have you made that have chipped away at your integrity? What kind of relationships, work environments, or social interactions are you passively enduring, even though they actively drain your energy or undermine your self-worth? The power lies in consciously choosing to elevate your standards. This might mean having difficult conversations, saying no more often, or even walking away from situations that are fundamentally misaligned with your values. It's a profound act of self-respect. When you consistently uphold your standards, you send a clear message. This is who I am. This is what I stand for. This is how I expect to be treated. This isn't about arrogance. It's about congruence. It's about living in alignment with your inner value, allowing your actions to reflect the worth you know you possess. When you measure what you accept, you stop being a passive recipient of circumstances and become an active architect of your life, intentionally shaping an environment that honors your true self. You teach the world how to value you, not through grand pronouncements, but through your unwavering commitment to your own internal standards. Choose respect through conscious decisions. Following naturally from setting your standards, the next powerful Stoic secret is to actively choose respect through your conscious decisions. Respect is not something you beg for. It's something you command, not through force or aggression, but through the consistent, deliberate alignment of your actions with your deepest values. It is earned by the quiet strength of your character, and that character is built, decision by decision. Many people mistakenly believe that respect is a gift bestowed upon them by others, dependent on their approval or affection. But the Stoics understood that true respect, the kind that endures and resonates, is an internal project. It begins with self-respect cultivated through prohairesis, your faculty of moral choice, Every decision you make, every word you utter, every action you take, either strengthens or weakens the edifice of your integrity and by extension, the respect you command. Consider a simple everyday scenario. You're faced with a choice: to engage in gossip about a colleague, or to politely redirect the conversation. The easy, perhaps even tempting, path is to join in, to feel a fleeting sense of camaraderie through shared judgment. But what is the long-term cost? It erodes your own sense of integrity, making you complicit in something you might inwardly disapprove of. The Stoic choice, rooted in justice and wisdom, is to refrain. By choosing not to participate, you are making a conscious decision to uphold your values, to protect your own character, and in doing so, you quietly choose respect, both for yourself and, indirectly, from those who witness your principled stance. This applies to every facet of life. Do you choose to complain incessantly about problems you have the power to influence? Or do you focus your energy on finding solutions? Do you choose to be late and disorganized, signaling a disregard for others' time? Or do you strive for punctuality and preparedness? Do you choose to cut corners in your work? Or do you dedicate yourself to excellence, even when no one is watching? Each of these seemingly small decisions accumulates. They are the brushstrokes that paint the portrait of your character. When your actions consistently reflect reliability, honesty, kindness, and discipline, you are not just performing tasks. You are building a reputation, an internal one first, and then an external one. People might not always consciously articulate why they respect you, but they will sense the unwavering integrity that emanates from your consistent choices. This is not about being rigid or humorless. It's about intentionality. It's about understanding that your prohieresis is your ultimate power. It is the only thing truly under your control, and it is the wellspring of your dignity. When you consistently choose actions that align with your ideal self, you are actively choosing respect. You are telling the world, through your conduct, this is who I am, and I demand the same level of integrity from myself that I would wish to see in others. Think about the profound difference between someone who talks about their values versus someone who lives them. The person who lives their values through conscious decisions, through the quiet commitment to integrity, even when it's inconvenient or unnoticed, is the one who naturally commands respect. They don't need to assert their value. It is self-evident in their every choice. Choosing respect through conscious decisions means engaging with the world not just reactively but proactively. It means pausing before you speak, before you act, and asking, does this align with my highest self? Does this uphold my standards? Does this reflect the value I embody? When you consistently answer yes to these questions, you become an unshakable force, radiating a quiet confidence that inherently commands the respect of others, because it is first and foremost rooted in deep self-respect. This is how you reclaim your power, by making conscious choices that build a life worthy of your own esteem. Recognize when to walk away. Honor your energy. Perhaps one of the most difficult, yet most empowering lessons from Stoicism is the profound wisdom of knowing when to withdraw. In a culture that often valorizes persistence at all costs, never giving up, and fighting to the bitter end, the Stoic view offers a more nuanced and strategically intelligent approach, distinguishing between what is within your control to influence and what is not. When a situation, a relationship, or an endeavor consistently drains your energy, compromises your peace, or violates your core values, and you have exhausted all avenues of virtuous effort to change it, The most courageous and self-respecting act might just be to walk away. Seneca eloquently wrote about the importance of knowing when to retreat, not out of cowardice, but out of wisdom. He understood that our mental and emotional energy, our ataraxia, tranquility, are finite and precious resources that must be guarded fiercely. To cling to situations that are fundamentally corrosive, simply out of stubbornness or fear of being seen as a quitter, is a self-inflicted wound. It is an act of disrespect towards your own well-being. Consider the modern traps, the toxic friendship or family dynamic. You continuously find yourself in conversations that leave you feeling depleted, judged, or emotionally bruised. You've tried communicating your needs, setting boundaries, but nothing changes. The draining job. You're in an environment where your efforts are unappreciated, your values are compromised, or the stress levels are unsustainable, and there's no realistic path to improvement. The endless argument. You find yourself embroiled in repetitive, unproductive debates, online or offline, that only serve to inflame your emotions and harden your opponent's. The sunk cost fallacy in relationships. You stay in a relationship that has long since ceased to be mutually supportive or healthy, simply because you've invested so much time, emotion, or shared history into it. In each of these scenarios, the Stoic question becomes, is this within my control to change through virtuous action? Or am I merely pouring my limited and precious mental energy into a bottomless pit? If the answer is the latter, then walking away is not a sign of failure. It is a profound act of self-preservation and a wise allocation of your most vital resources. This requires courage, because walking away often means confronting discomfort. The fear of the unknown, the guilt of leaving, the potential for others' disapproval, or the pain of letting go of what once was. But the Stoic understands that true courage isn't the absence of fear, but the judgment that something else is more important than fear. In this case, that something else is your inner peace, your integrity, and your capacity to live a virtuous life. Walking away doesn't mean becoming cynical or avoiding all challenges. It means learning to distinguish between a worthy struggle, one where your virtuous efforts can make a genuine difference, and a futile one. It's about recognizing when your continued presence or engagement is no longer an act of perseverance, but an act of self-sabotage. Honoring your energy means treating your mental and emotional well-being as a sacred trust. It means understanding that you cannot pour from an empty cup, and that continuously exposing yourself to draining influences diminishes your capacity to engage meaningfully with the things that truly matter. When you make the conscious choice to disengage from what diminishes you, you create space for what elevates you. You reclaim your sovereignty over your own inner landscape. Marcus Aurelius often spoke of the importance of not wasting your life on what is not genuinely useful or good. This extends to people and situations that do not align with your pursuit of eudaimonia, human flourishing. To walk away, then, is an act of intentionality. It is a declaration that your peace, your values, and your energy are non-negotiable. It is a profound way to affirm your own worth by refusing to allow it to be diminished by external forces you cannot control. It is a strategic retreat that allows you to fight another, more important battle, or simply to rest and replenish, emerging stronger and more aligned with your authentic self. Embrace radical honesty with yourself. In our quest for true value, perhaps no step is more vital, yet more unsettling, than embracing radical honesty with yourself. The Stoics placed an immense emphasis on self-knowledge, believing it to be the bedrock of all virtue. You cannot improve what you do not truly understand, and you cannot understand yourself if you are constantly shielding yourself from uncomfortable truths, sugarcoating your motives, or blaming external circumstances for internal failings. Modern life is rife with opportunities for self-deception. We develop elaborate narratives to justify our procrastinations, our small acts of unkindness, our avoidance of difficult tasks, or our unwillingness to confront our own flaws. We tell ourselves, "It's not my fault, I'm just too busy," or "everyone else does it." This constant internal chatter, while seemingly protective, is actually a formidable barrier to growth and genuine self-respect. Radical honesty means stripping away these narratives and facing yourself unflinchingly. It means acknowledging your fears, your insecurities, your biases, and your hidden agendas. It means asking yourself difficult questions and being willing to accept the uncomfortable answers. Am I truly acting from a place of virtue, or am I seeking approval, avoiding conflict, or indulging a selfish desire? Am I genuinely too busy, or am I simply prioritizing distractions over meaningful work? Is that person truly disrespecting me, or am I being overly sensitive, or even contributing to the dynamic? What role have I played in the problems I'm complaining about? This isn't about self-flagellation or wallowing in guilt. The Stoic practice of self-examination is dispassionate, like a physician diagnosing an illness. It's about seeing things as they are, without the distortions of ego or self-pity. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, constantly reminds himself to look at things nakedly, without the colored glasses of opinion. This applies most critically to one's own character and actions. Why is this so powerful? Because self-deception is a leak in your integrity. Each time you rationalize away a shortcoming, you subtly erode your self-trust. You create an internal world built on shifting sands, making it impossible to establish a firm foundation of value. When you are honest with yourself, even about your least flattering qualities, you gain clarity, and clarity is the first step towards change. Think about a common scenario. You know you should exercise more, but you keep finding excuses. Radical honesty means admitting, I am choosing to prioritize comfort over my health right now, because I fear the discomfort of exertion. It's not about judgment. It's about accurate self-assessment. Once you admit that, you can then make a conscious choice about it. Do you continue to prioritize comfort, or do you find the courage to override that initial impulse? This practice requires courage, because confronting your own illusions can be painful. It means letting go of the comfortable stories you've told yourself for years. But it is also immensely liberating. When you stop lying to yourself, you start to see yourself as you truly are, a human being with flaws, yes, but also with immense potential for growth, virtue, and resilience. Radical honesty strengthens your internal resolve. It makes you unshakable, because you're no longer vulnerable to external criticisms that simply confirm what you already know about yourself. When someone points out a flaw you've already honestly acknowledged and are working on, their words lose their sting. You have already done the harder work of internal confrontation. By embracing radical honesty, you fortify your inner citadel. You build a foundation of self-awareness that allows you to act with genuine purpose and integrity. You align your internal perception with external reality, eliminating the dissonance that often leads to anxiety and self-doubt. This isn't just a secret. It's a daily practice, a continuous commitment to clear-sightedness that transforms how you perceive yourself and ultimately how the world perceives the profound value you embody. Strengthen integrity by living true to your values. We arrive at the culmination of our journey, the ultimate secret to acting with true, undeniable value. Strengthening your integrity by consistently living true to your values. This isn't just about knowing your values. It's about embodying them, day in and day out, through every thought, word, and action. Integrity is the complete alignment of who you say you are, what you believe, and what you actually do. It is the visible manifestation of your internal worth, radiating outwards. The Stoics understood integrity not as a rigid adherence to rules, but as a harmonious coherence of one's inner self. Seneca said, "If you would not have a man shrink from you, do not shrink from yourself." This powerful statement underscores that self-respect and the respect you receive are inextricably linked to your internal consistency. When your actions contradict your professed beliefs, you create an internal dissonance that erodes your self-trust and consequently your sense of value. Think about the subtle ways integrity can be compromised in modern life. The small ethical compromises. You see a loophole, a way to get ahead that's technically not illegal, but feels morally gray. You take it. The unkept promises. You say yes to commitments you know you can't honor, or you promise things you don't intend to deliver. The hypocrisy. You preach one thing to others, but practice another in your own life. You advocate for honesty, but bend the truth when it's convenient. The fear of speaking up. You stay silent when a clear injustice occurs, even though your values compel you to act, because you fear social discomfort or repercussions. Each of these acts, no matter how minor, chips away at your integrity. It's like a slow leak in a tire. You might not notice it immediately, but over time, your foundation weakens, and your ability to move forward with confidence diminishes. The internal voice that once guided you becomes quieter, less trustworthy. Conversely, every time you choose to live in alignment with your values, you reinforce your integrity. When you speak your truth, even when it's difficult, when you follow through on a commitment, even when it's inconvenient, when you choose the ethical path, even when it's less popular or more challenging, you are fortifying your inner citadel. You are building an unshakable foundation of self-respect that no external criticism or circumstance can dismantle. This isn't about perfection. We are all fallible, and we will inevitably make mistakes or fall short of our ideals. The Stoic path is not one of flawless execution, but of continuous striving and conscious correction. When you fail to live up to your values, the practice of integrity means acknowledging it, learning from it, and recommitting to aligning your future actions. Radical honesty, Secret 9, feeds directly into this, allowing for genuine introspection and rectification. Living true to your values brings an immense sense of inner calm and power when you know that your words, thoughts, and deeds are in harmony. There is no internal conflict, no hidden shame. You become a person of substance, a person whose presence commands respect, not because of their accomplishments or possessions, but because of the evident strength and consistency of their character. This is the quiet, authentic presence we discussed earlier, Secret 2. Epictetus famously said, "Every habit and faculty is maintained and increased by the corresponding actions. The habit of walking by walking. The habit of running by running." If you wish to be a writer, write. If you wish to be a good person, practice virtue. So it is with integrity. If you wish to be a person of value, a person who commands respect, then consistently act with integrity. Practice living your values, even in the smallest moments. When you strengthen your integrity by living true to your values, you stop seeking validation from the outside. Your value becomes a self-evident truth, rooted deeply within your character. You become immune to the whims of popular opinion or the fleeting allure of external rewards, because your ultimate reward is the profound peace that comes from being truly, authentically yourself. You become a beacon of quiet strength, a person whose very existence acts as a testament to their unwavering worth. This is the ultimate reclamation of your silent power, your unwavering boundaries, and your authentic presence. This is how you don't just act with value, you become value. The true measure of your worth, then, is not found in what you accumulate, or what others say about you, or how flawlessly you perform. It lies in the unwavering commitment to cultivating your character, to defining your own standards, and to living in alignment with your deepest values, even when the world pulls you in 1,000 different directions. As Epictetus wisely taught, no man is free who is not master of himself. And to be master of yourself is to be the ultimate arbiter of your own value, to guard your inner citadel fiercely, and to live a life of profound integrity. So, I leave you with this question. What hidden value within you are you ready to reclaim, defend, and radiate to the world, starting today? If this journey through Stoic wisdom has resonated with you, I invite you to like this video, subscribe to the channel for more insights, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Which of these secrets will you commit to practicing in your daily life? Your reflections fuel this community, and I look forward to reading them. Thank you for joining me on this path to reclaiming your true power